If it hurts, game the brakes, no gates, you know it up, put on more speed. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, lock cut sides, through the games after this win in. Press you again, we're here for the first minute. Carry the body, keep it there for 60 minutes.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
All I know is go Vols, because that's all I know. Go Vols!
Well, I mean, obviously, we've spent, 4 years, trying to change the culture, trying to instill in these young men how blessed they are, to have an opportunity to play somewhere like the University of Tennessee, and what an honor it is to have that T on the side of your helmet, and that we're always playing for something bigger than us individually.
Make the decision. You're either a Vol or you're not, through thick and thin.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here.
Hey, it's us against the world, fellas. It's us against the world, fellas. Don't nobody believe in us. Don't nobody believe in us. We don't need nobody to believe in us. I believe in you. I believe in you. I know you a dog. I know you a dog. I know we some dogs, man. Hey, all this preparation we put in, all this been talking about. Hey, it's time to go release pain, man. It's time to go put in real. Let's go. Tennessee on 2, 1, 2, Tennessee. Ball, Tennessee, ready. Ball, Tennessee, ready. Ball, Tennessee, ready.
But you know what? Let's talk a little Vols. That is not me trying to take any shine away from the phenomenal channel Talkin VAWLS and my guy Boogie Bentley runs. So shout out to them. But let's talk a little Vols here.
Good Friday morning. Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. He is Coach Jay. We got one more sleep till we get back out there on the grass. We get to go play football, and I think this team needs to go play football. I think this fan base needs this team to go play football. Coach, been a kind of busy, chaotic week. Not only football, baseball. Do you not think – I think this fan base needs a win on Saturday night.
Yeah, I would say a win would be extremely healthy for the fan base. Just get back on track, right? What did the great coach Butch Jones say, right? Snap and clear, right? Like, let's give a good 3-6 effort on Saturday. All the isms. Yeah, it's important to get back on track, get focused, get flying around, get feeling good, get back to playing a little sharper brand of football, right? Extremely sloppy, lack of discipline and effort at times. Not that the team quit. I think the team fought back, but I thought there were plays where the tackling and effort on the tackle and follow through and form of the tackle were poor. I guess is what I'm trying to say here. I'm picking on the defense, Boogie, in another man's terms. And I gotta be honest, I was listening to to old Boogie Bentley on Caner this morning, and you broke my little heart, Boogie. You broke my little heart. You said, I just expect the other team's defense to score now. And my little defensive coordinator heart broke right in two when I heard you say that. I was like, oh man, I could never bring myself to say it, even though I've been a little disappointed in this defense.
I mean, the thing is, I know stats and numbers don't tell the full story, but I can also use the eye test. This defense is going to give up points. That's it. They're going to give up points.
I hear you.
However, I think this offense is going to go score points. Now, since you listened to Locked On Vols this morning, I also said Kentucky's offense is really bad. So how's Coach Jay going to feel on Sunday morning when he wakes up if we go up there to Lexington and play against a team that's really bad offensively? I've said this, Joey Aguilar threw the same number of touchdowns against Georgia that Kentucky's quarterback has thrown the whole year. Chris Brazzell has more receiving yards than their top three receivers combined. He has more touchdowns than their entire team has. What happens if you wake up on Sunday and you look and we gave up 24, 27, 30? Like, how do you feel about this Tim Banks defense if you give up points to a team that over halfway through it's been pretty bad?
Part of it depends how, but like just on its face, I'd probably be pissed, just being honest. So we need to get back to a couple things, right? Number one, get back to what you're good at, get back to who you are. And I think that's primarily, sacks, pressuring the quarterback, turnovers on the defensive side, plays that truly affect the game. We were close to a couple in the Alabama game. I brought up the Edwin Spillman almost interception the other day. There was one that dang near fell into Devin Hobbs' lap against the Alabama game too. Just didn't quite have the head on the swivel enough. So we need to get back to playing aggressive brand of football. And I think Kentucky's going to try to run a lot of little play action underneath dink and dunk, take advantage of some of this space that Tim Banks has been giving up. And for God's sakes, I would implore him to play a little tighter this week and not do so. It's tempting to play bend but don't break defense against Kentucky because I believe they're like one of the worst teams in the red zone. They're really, really bad in the red zone, but I got bad news for us. We've been really, really bad on defense in the red zone as well. So the rubber's going to meet the road in that matchup, and I'd rather not put them in the red zone. I would rather play a little tighter, give up nothing, throw big punches on offense early, put them away early, get the backup some work on defense. And then if we give up a couple points, maybe Coach Jay feels a little better about it.
What are your thoughts? And I don't want to get too deep into the weeds here because we're going to go look at what Tony Vitello had to say. He has put out a public statement, met with the media, took a handful of questions. We're going to walk through that kind of quickly, but I want to talk to Coach Jay about it because he's not been on the channel since it happened. Caner is going to be here every single Monday like he always is throughout football season. But I told him yesterday when we were recording Locked On Vols, I said, hey, as this coaching search plays out every single Monday on Talkin Vols, I want you to break it down. So Caner is going to be here, and Caner is going to give you, when people claim to be experts, he's going to give you that true expert insider opinion. Caner is as close to that baseball program as anybody. He's going to be as close to that coaching search as anybody. So he's going to update us every single Monday morning. Let me catch up with you guys in the chat, though, real quick, and then we're going to come back talk Tony Vitello. We're going to kind of talk overall vibes of this football team. Soar the Demon, I don't know if he's in the chat right now. He messaged me right before we went live and sent me a good video from Josh Pate and Cole Kubelik. We're going to take a look at that. But let me catch up with you guys. Luke Thompson drops a $2 super chat for a door fee. We appreciate door fees. If you don't want to drop a door fee, you can drop a 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, whatever you want to drop. We appreciate it. It keeps the lights on around here. If you don't want to do that, just hit the thumbs up. It's quick, free, easy. You can also hit share, put this out on Twitter, Facebook, let somebody know we're live. We would be grateful for that as well. Todd Landers for 2 says, good morning, Vols. Good morning, Todd. Hope you're having a good morning. Marcus for 5 says, Dorothy, good morning, Vol fam. Every game from here on out is a must-win GBO. That's what we titled the Stream Coach Must-Win Coaching Mindset. Every week's must-win, right? And I've already seen that in the chat. Every week's a must-win, Boogie. It is. It is. But you can also in the SEC, you can slip up, lose 1 or 2. No more slip-ups, no more screw-ups. This is a must-win game. This is the definition of a must-win game.
Players know what time it is, right? Like when you play ball, you understand whose records what in the SEC. You know where everyone stands in the top 25 rankings. You know what needs to be done to make the playoffs. So as a coach, you want to preach 1 week at a time, right? And you want to work towards that. But look, the players at the end of the day know what time it is. And I expect and demand a sharp performance from them this weekend because of this.
Stash Bowerman for 5 says Coach Elander needs the spot. Hashtag baseballs. I think a lot of people, former players included, also agree with that. So we'll see what happens there. Austin Buck becomes a member of the channel. Shout out, Austin. If you're not a member, you can hit the join button. It's $1 a month. Got $1? We need $1. If you got $1, we could use that $1. Hit the join button. You get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun stuff. So shout out, Austin. If we get 35 members, we're going to give away some free merchandise. Right now, we need 34. You guys can gift them, or if you don't have a Power T, you can join the channel. Ron the Don for 5. Dorothy, let's go. Who woke me up on Friday morning? Boogie and Coach Jay. I can dig it, and you can too. Let's go. You know, you didn't wake up, Ron the Don. You didn't wake up Foul Ming. He is apparently still sleeping. He is having his beauty sleep, his beauty rest, and that's okay. I guess he didn't get his shipment of Grade A Grounds coffee. They sponsor the Talkin VAWLS morning show. You can go to gradeagrounds.com, use that promo code VAWLS, VAWLS, at checkout. You're going to save 20%. You can roll with that blueberry, which you guys know I'm a fan of. Organized Chaos medium roast, also pretty dang good. You can get fresh beans, you can get ground beans, or you can go with the K-Cups. I like the K-Cups because I'm lazy. Boom, pop them in there, hit a button, and it is done. Delicious coffee from a VFL, a Tennessee alumni, an East Tennessee dude. This is the perfect partnership. If you like a little coffee on your Friday morning, go to gradeagrounds.com. We would greatly appreciate the support of them and us. And speaking of Grade A Grounds, right there in the chat, what is up, Billy? Hope all is well. John Wells for 2. Nothing to say, just a tip in the tip jar. We appreciate that, John. All right, let's get into it. Let's go talk a little bit about Tony Vitello because, again, you've not been on the channel other than, I guess you were on what? You were on Tuesday night playing a little EA Sports College football. That was fun. But let's talk about Tony V. And, again, he put out a statement. This thing is kind of lengthy, so I'm not going to read it word for word. I looked to see if there was a video of it. There is not. So I'm gonna summarize some of the stuff he talked about. You can kind of jump in, chime in here. I love the way he started it. Said he accepted the position to go babysit Drew Gilbert. You got to wonder, like I know this is a big decision for Tony Vitello, but it doesn't hurt that one of his former players that he's got probably the best relationship is playing in San Francisco. So I thought that was a funny way, lighthearted way to open up the statement. Said he hated the way that things played out on Saturday and the timing of it all. Obviously, he said it wasn't from his end, said he wanted people to know that. Didn't make a final decision until Wednesday. So he had that scrimmage on Wednesday. All of Vol Nation showed up, showed support, showed love to Tony Vitello. Said he enjoyed going through that last scrimmage and soaked it all in, even though he didn't know at that point what he was going to do. This is what he said about the support from the fans. Said the fans, the people who were here, the people that were in the stadium, they don't need me. They need the players. The players don't need me. They need the fans. I think we've got great players here. We've got great players signed up, and we have incredible fans. They filled the porches because of the construction. That's all it would allow. They need to fill the stadium and bring the same energy they brought to the last game of the year. Last year, our kids need to play to their full potential because it's pretty dangerous. But that's one thing I definitely want to get off my chest. Any thoughts on that? There's a lot of mixed feelings out there about Danny White, Tony Vitello, who's to blame, the relationship. Everybody wants to say it's on Danny White. I brought it up Wednesday. It's a two-way street, man. It's a two-way street. A relationship works both ways. But thoughts on him saying, hey, you don't need me. You need the players, and the players need you. I like that statement from Tony Vitello on the way out the door.
Yeah, it's a good comment on the way out the door, and I'll give you my thoughts real quick. It's when you've had the success that Tony's had as a coach, it's never going to be an easy or great time to leave for a different job, right? Like there's just certain emotions that come with that. And number one, I'd like to congratulate Tony. Amazing. Like coaches, we coach to push ourselves and our players to be better. and to be great, and to see how far you can push this thing. Like how good are you, right? Like you want to learn something about yourself as a person, and know how far you can take something when you're passionate about it. And so I just want to thank him and congratulate him, and I would encourage all the fans to do so. I think he wanted to talk to his players, which is why he hated the timing of it. I've been in locker rooms and had to tell people, I'm leaving, and it's gotten emotional before. Sometimes big party who doesn't want to, right? Like you're touring yourself and you're taking a risk or making a jump, and if you do it right, your players give you a big hug and tell you they love you, and they root for you and they cheer you on, and you do the same for them. And I was dang proud to have Tony Vitello as his coach. And I'm no Giants fan, but I'll be rooting for his success in his career for as long as he isn't coaching against us in some fashion, I suppose.
And he made reference to Lane Kiffin in this statement, which was kind of funny, saying, I hope I'm not compared to Lane Kiffin. This isn't a Lane Kiffin type of move. This is a guy that was here for 8 years. He rebuilt the program. I don't know that I wouldn't say it was in shambles like the football program was when Josh Heupel took over, but from a winning standpoint, it was in shambles. He rebuilt this thing 8 years on Rocky Top. He won a national championship. He took you to the top of the top. He took you to that elite status. And then he wants to go try his hand in the pros, man. I don't have a problem with that. It would be different. Maybe I would have different feelings if he went to Arkansas, or he went, God forbid, Vanderbilt, somewhere like that, where it's like, you're going to a rival, you're going somewhere else, versus he wants to try his hand at the pros. And I think you could tell this was a very weighted decision. He was torn. He was conflicted. And just because you're moving on, and you talking about, you can kind of reiterate this too. You talking about the locker rooms that you've been in. You pour your heart and soul into those kids. You do it the entire year. And then just because you're moving on doesn't mean you didn't give your all. Tony Vitello truly gave his all to Tennessee. Just because he's moving on doesn't mean that he did not. He talked about Tennessee. He said, first off, to people saying bye and everything like that, I'm not going anywhere. Real estate people, quit texting me. I'll figure out what I want to do. But whether it's football games, basketball games, supporting these guys in some form or fashion, I'm not going anywhere. I don't know if this will get me in trouble, but in my mind, a goal is to come back to Tennessee in some capacity, whether it's part-time living or some other job down the road, or maybe I go back to Nashville and become a country singer. But that's something that stuck out in my head because obviously I feel like this was a great place for me. I will say that's going to be a hard thing. Whoever replaces Tony Vitello, you're not just replacing a good coach. You're not just replacing a good recruiter. You're replacing a rock star. Tony Vitello was everywhere. He showed up to support Josh Heupel and the football team. He showed up to support Rick Barnes and the basketball team. He showed up to support the Lady Vols. Tony Vitello truly put his heart and soul into coaching at the University of Tennessee.
He built a rock, right? Like look, all the World Series appearances and everything he accomplished. It's incredible. And when you built a rock, that rock's going to need torn down, right? Like we made a lot about a comparison the other day where someone was trying to compare DeBoer's, what he's done in year 2 compared to what, Heupel's doing. And it's just not apples to apples, right? Because Heupel inherited an absolute dumpster fire, right? Well, whoever takes over this Tennessee program long term is gonna inherit a strong beast, like a rock, right? And what better way to honor what Tony V has built than to continue that legacy, to keep competing, to keep this program strong, for the fans to keep showing out, to keep making World Series appearances. And for me, there's no better way to thank him for what he did and what he built here than to continue his legacy and fight for it.
I think that's the perfect place to tie a bow on Tony Vitello. The key point there being he left this place better than he found it, and the job, the appeal to come to Tennessee and coach this baseball program is way more attractive than it was before Tony Vitello got here. And that's what you want a coach to do. We're going to go talk a little football now. It's Kentucky week. We need to bounce back from this thing, but we're also going to talk a little overall perspective. And Coach, you mentioned the tweet, the conversation about Kalen DeBoer taking over he's in year 2, but he kind of took over a pretty dang good football team. Josh Heupel, on the other hand, took over a dumpster fire, an NCAA investigation. The tweet from Tuesday night went on and on and on and on and on. And the comments that flooded that tweet. And if you missed it, it was comparing Josh Heupel, and he's in year 5. Kalen DeBoer is in year 2. And we're trying to compare apples to oranges here and sell it on a reason why we're not satisfied with Josh Heupel. Now, one of the comments that came in on that says year 5 should not see cornbread Butch Dooley type of play. The reason it sucks is because hype is better than this. I quote tweeted it. You can see that. Why do you quote tweet? Well, that's when you send it out to your army of people and let them come fight your battle for you. But I said, this is truly how I felt at the time when I read this comment. Some of y'all either weren't alive or you've completely forgotten what Saturdays were like under Pruitt, Butch Jones, and Derek Dooley. And I truly believe that. I think time heals all wounds, right? Josh Heupel comes in, 7-5 year 1, and we're going, okay, this was a fun year. Like we were 7-5, but it was an exciting brand of football. And then 2022, I think, was the best and the worst thing that could have happened to Josh Heupel, because he went out and he won 11 games. He had a guy in Hendon Hooker that should have been a Heisman Trophy finalist. I don't care what anybody says. That's the reality of the situation. He came in and did more with less in year 2. We still haven't got over the hump of an NCAA investigation at that point, Coach. That NCAA investigation drug out for 3 years. So when people say we're in year 5, are we really? Are we really in year 5? Because the NCAA on the field, yes. Off the field, that NCAA investigation continued to impact recruiting. Everybody was negative selling against Tennessee. They're going to bury the program. There's not going to be any postseason activity. Postseason bans are coming. All of that was lies and negative recruiting. But I think if you're comparing to what Josh Heupel is doing to Butch Jones and to Derek Dooley and to Jeremy Pruitt, yeah, Butch Jones was close, but guess what? Butch Jones never won 10 games. Josh Heupel's already done it twice in 4 years. And this is the thing I keep saying and keep going back to. Like, I'm not a guy that goes, oh, we lost to Georgia and we lost to Alabama, so let me look ahead. We're losing to Oklahoma. We're losing to Vanderbilt. We're losing to Florida. So I got 5 wins, 5 losses on the season. I don't play that game, Coach, and I know you don't play that game either.
Yeah, it was just so bad when those coaches were there, right? And I know Butch had, a hot start one year, but look at who he had. Like, you want to see a coaching difference if you could magically put this Josh Heupel staff with that 2016 Tennessee team.
Oh my gosh, Alvin Kamara.
I would show you a possible national championship there. That would have been really scary to see. Yeah, really scary, right? The power game of Hurd and the threat of Kamara and all those weapons, along with Josh Dobbs running the system, would have been scary, no doubt about it. And imagine, that's only one side of it. Imagine like Shy Tuttle, Khalil McKenzie, Derek Barnett with Coach Gardner. Yes, please. Yes, please. I would take that. So yeah, don't forget where you came from, but it's okay for expectations to change too. And I get that that's part of it, everybody. Like, expectations can change. And when we jumped out and had that big season, expectations did change. But seasons can be fluid and stuff happens. What I want as a fan is to be in a position to play for a playoff spot every single year. Because if you can get in the playoffs, you can find a way to win it, right? And so in order to do that, I think, at least in the size of the playoff right now, 2 losses in the SEC is kind of what you need to get to. We did that last year. We have a chance to do it this year. Will it be disappointing if we don't do it this year? Yes. Do I think it's time to throw the baby out with the bathwater when we've kind of been hitting close to that mark, getting 10 wins? No, I don't. Like, it would have to be, continued 9-3, 8-4 seasons for me to have to start to truly worry. You'd have to stack at least two of them on top of each other for coach to kind of bear that out as a true concern. Like I mentioned, and I know you brought it up again on Wednesday, Boogie. You look at these coaches who have put together success. Kirby Smart, the majority of them didn't win it till after year 6. So, Rome's not built overnight. Tony Vitello. How long did it take Tony to win a ship?
A while. And how long did it take him to start winning? It was very similar to Josh Heupel. That first year was about, I can't remember the exact record, was around 500. Then he slowly started stacking wins and building winning seasons. And then he won that natty. And it was on the back end, right? He was here 8 years, and it was year 7 when he won the national championship. It takes time to build a championship contender. And that's the hardest part, is being I get sick and tired of people wanting to burn it to the ground, acting like, and I've already dropped the tweet off of there, but one of the best comments was at the top. It's either at a 0 or at an 11. So many people are either ready to burn it to the ground, fire everybody, or everything's fine. We're good. It doesn't matter if we go 7-5. Let me tell you something. If this team goes 7-5 or 8-4, coach, we got problems. We have major problems. We have problems that I hate saying this, but somebody's head probably needs to roll if we're 7-5 at the end of this thing. Uh-oh, coach locked up.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And am I back?
I think you're a little delayed.
Okay. You want me to back out and come back in real quick, or no?
I don't know. Let's see.
Or am
Respond
I okay?
when you're done. 1, 2, 3. How are we?
Respond.
Very delayed. Very delayed. Back out and come back in. All right, coach, we'll see if we can get coach's internet dialed in, and we'll keep this conversation flowing. Again, Soar the Demon sent me a video from Josh Pate talking about upset alert. And I had a small clip from Josh Pate's show, but this has Josh Pate and Cole Kubelik, and it's about the outlook of where you were at preseason versus now. We've not listened to it. We're going to react to that live for the first time. So I've got that queued up coming up next. And then we're going to do a little bit of a gambling segment. Foul Ming's not here, but we're going to talk about it. Then we're going to put some final predictions on this Tennessee-Kentucky game. Coach will be back loud and clear.
How about now?
Yeah, now we're good. We're good to go. I don't know if you remember what you were talking about.
Yeah, no, I was going to highlight Big TN. I totally agree with that statement as a coach. Strive for perfection, never stop straining for it, right? Heck yeah, as a coach, never ever stop. It's never ever good enough, right? Look at Coach Gardner.
You love calling him Charlie Garner.
I don't know why. I don't know why this. I did it for the first time 2 weeks ago, and now it will not stop. Sorry,
Rodney.
Sorry,
Good old Uncle
yeah,
Rodney Garner. Rodney Garner.
I don't. Anyway, hey,
I'll forgive you.
It's.
I'm going to get you to call him Coach G.
I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning. All right, cut me a break.
Twice in 1 week.
But Coach G, he doesn't. You almost wonder if this happened this past year, right? So with the defense, everyone expected the defense to take a step, me included, because they had a lot coming back. Our injuries a part of it, yes. Does anyone care? No. But we've had growth every year, and the way we've been attacking defense, you got to wonder, has Tim Banks gotten caught liking the smell of his own farts a little bit, right? That can happen to you as a coordinator. You can get caught digging what you're doing a little too much, and you don't evolve. And you brought it up too. I listened to you say it. This offensive staff evolved with analysts, right? I don't know that this defensive did, but Coach Rodney Gardner, he's never guilty of that, right? It's never good enough for him. Mm-hmm. He's always pushing them. He's always, even at his age, working to evolve in his drills, his endo sessions. And that's what it's got to be, man. It's got to be a constant strive for perfection. And I think that's why a lot of people are bothered too by this last game, is there were just so many mental mistakes and errors. And you're going to stare at a coach after that happens, because you got to strive for perfection. It's a tough balance, that whole, it's never going to be perfect, right? And it don't got to be. And that's true. Heupel's not lying when he says that comment. And I think sometimes fans can get it twisted that he doesn't strive for perfection because he says that comment. I assure you, Josh Heupel pushes for perfection on that football field. I promise he does. But we got to clean it up, man. It's not good enough to just talk about it. We got to see it out on the football field.
You think, and I think Kaner brought this up, and I can't remember. It all bleeds together if we had this conversation on air or off air. I don't remember. I think it may have been on air. When Kaner said what really shifted the fan expectation was we thought our defense was going to be good. We thought, and say what you will, the people like to make excuses and say, oh, this defense last year wasn't really that good. We didn't play anybody. I don't care. All you can play is who's in front of you. The truth is Tim Banks got better every single year. Every single year, the scoring defense, rushing defense, passing, we improved every single year since Tim Banks arrived. And then, so going into this season, it kind of felt like, all right, maybe the defense slips off a little bit when you look at who you lost. I mean, you lost James Pierce, you lost those guys on the interior, Omar Norman Lott, Elijah Simmons. You lost some dudes, but you felt like you had enough guys replace them where maybe you'd take a little slide back, not a huge step. The question was about the offense. You're replacing 4 offensive linemen. You got 3 guys two guys that haven't been proven at wide receiver in Mike Matthews and Braylon Staley. The limited numbers in that wide receiver room were a question mark. And then obviously the big one is Joey Aguilar. What is Joey Aguilar going to look like in this offense? And we're having conversations preseason that Joey just needs to be a game manager, run the football, let this defense play. We thought it was going to be a mirror of 2024. So do you think our expectations shifted because we saw what Joey Aguilar could do? We saw what these wide receivers could do. We saw how good this new offensive line was. I said it all offseason, just because it's new doesn't mean it's not going to be better. And I think this offensive line is better than it was a year ago. Do you think because we saw the offense, we just assumed, well, our defense should be it, and then that shifts the complete mindset and the expectations for this season?
Sure, it takes a fool not to look at the evidence and be open to changing your mind based on what you're seeing, right? So, yeah, my expectations shift. I think it was after the Georgia loss that I changed my prediction from 9-3 to 10-2. I'm probably back at 9-3 right now because I didn't expect the defense to continue on this path. At the time, I felt like, hey, Georgia just made some really tough plays in that game, right? Like the back of the end zone play. There were a couple really, really gutsy, gritty plays that they made in that game. So you were able to chalk it up as such, even though there were signs of some deficiencies there and injuries were starting to pile up. So yeah, your expectations changed with that offense and what you were seeing, and that's fair. But it's okay for them to change back because of reality situations. When you have draft picks, top draft picks going down in critical parts of your defense, like if I were to tell you Joey Aguilar is hurt, he's not playing another game, how would you feel about the rest of the games and the offense's success?
Yeah, it's a problem.
Probably not too good, right? Well, we don't think of defense in the same way, but we should, right? On this channel, about this time last year, me and another coach, quote unquote, had a little discussion about a Joel Klatt argument where they were saying, we can't make the playoffs and we're no good, and the opposition of what I was saying agreed kind of because of the offensive situation. And I took a hard stand because I think defense is hugely, hugely important in carrying a team's success, particularly when you can run the ball. And I guess I'll ask you now, Boogie, because I'm curious. Would you rather have this last season's defense with last season's offense, or would you rather have the number 1 offense with a defense that's going to give up points all the time? And I challenge you in the chant to answer that question.
I don't know that
well.
I can. If you told me I could swap, and that means do I lose people? Like, what are we talking? Because to me, where I stood on Nico. I think Nico could have taken a step. If
that's what I'm asking.
But do I get the offensive line? I don't know that it matters. I mean, last year's team went to the college football playoffs, so give me last year's team, right?
Gotcha.
I'm with you. I still think this team can easily drop a game the rest of the way. I think 9-3 is very realistic in the grand scheme of things because of the number of games. I think the same people that say, "Oh, we're going to lose to Oklahoma, we're going to lose to Vanderbilt, we're going to lose to Florida," maybe they're a little bit more crazy than the people that think we can win out, because I think we can win out. I don't think it's some wild thing if Tennessee wins out. I think they're going to be favored in every game to go win out. But I want to pick and choose, Coach. I want to play the game. I want to play the game where Nico doesn't go anywhere and he comes in with this offensive line and we see what he looks like when he has protection. We see what he looks like when he has weapons. But at the same time, Joey Aguilar has not cost us any games. Joey Aguilar, man, I'm Team Joey. I'm Team Joey, but I'm also like, this is why we can't have this conversation, because it's what we said when Nico left. We're never going to know. We're never going to know what that development with Nico would have looked like. But I don't know. Last year went 10-2, so give me last year's team this year. But how much of that is schedule? Let's flip the schedule. What if this team had Georgia on the road, but had Alabama and Florida at home? I think they beat Alabama in Neyland Stadium this year. I do too. So I don't know. That's a tough question. Good to pose it to the chat. You guys can have fun with that debate, with that conversation. We got about 230 people watching live on a Friday morning. Do us a favor, smash the thumbs up. You want to help the channel, hit the join button down below. It's only $1. You want to hang out with me on game day, Tennessee, Kentucky, a game day chat while the game is going on. We have a Patreon set up. We set it up for EA Sports College Football, so we would have a place to communicate and all that type of stuff. But last week against Alabama, we had a game day chat, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm putting the link in the chat right now. You can click that, go join that Patreon tier, and we're going to interact live throughout the course of the game. It's a lot of work for me, but it was worth it. It was a lot of fun, a lot of great conversation as the game is playing out in front of us. We appreciate that. Also, if you haven't hit the thumbs up, just hit the thumbs up. It's quick, free, and easy, and it does help the channel. I don't know what this video is. Again, Sword the Demon sent it to me, and I already had some Josh Pate stuff on the docket for this morning. So we're going to just live react to this, and let's let Josh Pate kick it off here. And I think this is going to feed into the conversation we were just having. Let's take a listen.
Take yourself back to SEC Media Days. Everything you thought about team, I could care less. The last week of August, right before week 1 kicked off, everything you thought about the SEC, which team has performed the furthest away, plus or negative, from your preseason expectation, and maybe go beyond Texas? Because a lot of people's answer will be Texas. Like, people are very shocked that the offense has been as bad as it's been. And if that's your answer, fine. If it's not, fine. But go beyond Texas, because mine's Florida. Like, I was really, really high on the potential of Florida, and it just kind of went in the tank. Where would you go? Notice, you're not going to thank me like you thank Jesse, but I spoke slower than molasses here to give you time to think, and I saw your eyes wandering. There was a lot of eye movement there, so I've given you a solid minute here. 3, 2.
That's an interesting question. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, can you imagine if we had the type of season that Florida or Texas is having right now? Can you imagine how burnt to a crisp this fan base would be?
And that's the whole point for me, Coach. That's the whole point for me. Is we still have an opportunity to go 10-2. And I say this all the time on the channel. I probably shouldn't, but it is what it is. We got 225 people watching right now. How many people would be watching you and I have this same conversation on a Friday morning if the field goal from Max Gilbert's good, the pick six doesn't happen, and Tennessee's undefeated right now? How many people would be tuned in, dialed in on a Friday morning? It would be at least 400, 500 people. Now, let me flip it to the other side. Let's say we lost to Mississippi State. Let's say we lost to Arkansas, and we are sitting here with 4 losses. We would also have about 400 to 500 people watching. We would also have a lot of people in the chat, and they would be calling for heads to roll, for coaches to be fired. That's why I can't wrap my head around it. We're not like Florida. We're not like Texas. We're pretty much right where we thought we would be. I said 9-3 before the season. I think you said you were at 9-3 too, and you're still at 9-3 now. I'm pretty much at 9-3 still now too. So why are we freaking out? Boudreaux says you would have 800 people in the chat. If Tennessee was undefeated right now, we would have 800 people in the chat. Matt Begley says 500 plus in the chat. But answer that question, Coach. Answer positive or negative. Who's furthest from where you thought they would be. And maybe we're looking at it through sunshine pumper
Like-
orange glasses, because we're right where we thought we would be, but the national media, Tennessee is not where they thought we would be. Take Tennessee out of it. Take Tennessee out of it. Take Texas out of it. So who has overachieved or underachieved more than anybody? I can't believe Florida. Florida's right where I thought they would be. For me, it's probably LSU. I thought LSU was returning so much talent. I thought they were going to be a dangerous team, and here they sit at 2-2. They're nowhere near as good as I thought they were going to be.
You know, if I'm going out of conference, I got to give Golish his flowers, right? Like,
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Yeah, he's definitely overperformed after, you know, a good first year, struggled a lot in year 2, and great job of recovering in year 3. So tip of the cap to Golish. I mean, yeah, there's several candidates in the SEC, right? Florida, South Carolina, LSU, Texas, who were leaving out of it, but overachieved. I think A&M. I do. I mean, I know people thought they would be good, but I think right now they're looking like the best team in the conference, at least to me. So
Don't
I'll
they
go
still have to
Texas
play
A&M.
Alabama? Don't they still have Alabama on the schedule?
I'd have to pull up their schedule to be
Hold on,
honest.
I'm going to pull it
but
up.
yeah.
I'm going to pull it up because I'm pretty sure.
I just think
No.
A&M's more. I think they're more complete than Alabama. I do. I think they're better in more phases of the game. I guess I'll put it that way.
They don't. They play at LSU, at Missouri, South Carolina, and at Texas. I mean,
It's a
that's
tough
3
game this
road
weekend.
games.
I know LSU's not done well, but that's still a tough game. Baton Rouge is always difficult, and that'll be chippy. That'll be a physical game.
Man, looking at their schedule though, they beat Notre Dame on the road 41-40, beat Auburn 16-10, beat Arkansas on the road 45-42. But I will agree with you. I didn't have them sitting at the top of the SEC, 7-0 overall. But let's hear what Cole Kubelik had to say here. Let me hit this super chat real quick. Luke Thompson for 2 says just became a Patreon member. GBO, shout out Luke. That link is in the chat. You guys want to come hang out live during the game? We would appreciate that support over on Patreon. Randall drops a 50 spot. That is very generous. We appreciate you, Randall. Let's play the clip.
All I know is go Vols, because that's all I know. Go Vols.
All I know is go Vols. Shout out,
good.
Randall. Top donation of the morning stream. We appreciate that support. Hey, I talk about needing y'all support. Let me tell you something. When the fan base, when apathy sets in with some people, that's when we really need your support. So we appreciate you, Randall. I love my Vols, but our fans are unapologetically fanatics. I don't know if some of the negative hurts our program. Players and coaches see these comments. When you have Brian Staley commenting on a post, you know his son and others have seen. Yeah, Brian knows. Brian sees everything, but also just Brian wouldn't care for me saying this. Having conversations with Brian off the record, just man to man, father to father. I think that's why we connect so much with a lot of these dads, me and Coach. Like Brian came up and talked to us. Guy, he stood up there with us forever.
Great guy.
He's our age, right? He has kids that are our kids' age. So we connect. That's why we were so excited about the dad stream, man, because we connect with these guys because we're the same age as these guys. But talking to Brian off air, they know it. And especially Brian, as active as he is on social media, he's like, Boogie, I know what I'm going to get. I know people are going to spout off. I know I'm going to see everything. But Brian enjoys social media. But you're right. The players do see everything. I don't know that the coaches necessarily see everything, but the players do. It's look at their age. They live on social media. They see everything. So that negativity doesn't do any good. But I'm also in a weird spot. You know, we do a show where we come on here and we give our true opinions. So we try to give criticism, right? If we see something that concerns us, we try to talk about it, but we try to do it in a classy way. We're not attacking players. We're not attacking coaches. We're just having a conversation. That's what we do here. So yeah, you're right though, that they see everything. Shout out Randall. We appreciate the super chat. There was something else. Oh, I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine. He's doing some work for me, fixing up the outside of the house from all the flood damage. And he's an Alabama fan, and he conveniently shows up to do the work the Monday after the Alabama game. So I called him some choice words. I called him some choice names, and we were having the conversation. He's like, man, how's the fan base? How's your audience? How are they reacting? I was like, it's apathy. A lot of people have checked out. They've disappeared. And then I was talking about the hostility, people like Don in the chat that are so irate and are so mad. I can see it in Don's comments, and that's okay. You're welcome to feel however you feel.
Sure.
But I said if there weren't people like Don that were so passionate and want national championships and strive, the fanatics that Randall mentions is why we get to come on here and talk Tennessee football every day. That's just the reality of the situation. All right, let's jump back in and see what Cole Kubelik. I love some Cole Kubelik. Somebody attack him on Twitter. And I don't mean attack him. I mean hit him up on Twitter. Hit him up on Twitter and tell him he needs to come on the Talkin VAWLS network. I can't get Josh Pate, but I would love to have me some Cole Kubelik. Look at him. Look at him. He's looking all fit. He don't look like an offensive lineman. He looks like an old quarterback. He would
watch O-line tape all day.
You and him talking X's and O's. I mean, I'll just sit here and
so
listen.
much fun.
I'll just sit here and listen to the two of you.
So much fun. I'm here for
go.
You might even be able to get past some of the technology in NBA poker circles with that knowledge of how eyes move and rotate. I'm going to give you Tennessee. The reason that I would not give you, say, Auburn or Florida is even though we thought that they had a chance to extend, there were still those real question marks there of can they really get that much further past where we kind of realistically believe they're going to be. There were some holes in that Florida roster that we were a little bit concerned about. I didn't think Tennessee was going to face plant. I didn't think they were going to nosedive. But I didn't think they'd be in the spot that they're in right now. And you look at that Alabama game, I still say, Josh, coming off that game, I sat in my hotel room in Charlotte on Sunday, and I thought to myself, and listen, there are no would-haves, should-haves in football. If you would have, if you could have, then you would have done it and taken care of it. You didn't. But without those drops, what would that game have looked like in the fourth quarter?
Yep.
Those were some monumental drops in some big spots to some wide-open receivers and tight ends.
See, let me say this. That is an analyst analyzing football. That's what we do. It's not making excuses. It's not coulda, shoulda, woulda. It's talking about what you saw happen on Saturday. And I got roasted for saying if you took 5 plays in that game, you could easily flip the outcome. And somebody said, well, Boogie, if you took 5 plays of every game, that's going to flip the outcome. I'm just making a point that Alabama game was way closer than people want to give it credit for. You make the kick against Georgia. And yes, we criticize Josh Heupel too. That's fair. That's what fans do. Josh Heupel could have managed that game better. Josh Heupel could have put his foot on Georgia's throat. You could have made that game where it was over and you didn't have to rely on Max Gilbert. But at the end of the day, what do you want? You want the opportunity to kick the field goal to win the game. Make the kick. That's a win. Go down and do your job. That's a win. But some people, and again, like Cole Kubelik just said, Coach, Tennessee didn't nosedive. Tennessee didn't faceplant. But looking around the circle, looking around Twitter, looking around the internet, some people sure are acting like Tennessee did nosedive and they did faceplant.
On the season, no. There's time to go, right? Like the season's a good surprise from an offensive standpoint and kind of a sad one from the defensive standpoint. But all the goals are still in front of us, I guess is what my point is, right? So never put the horse before the cart. Everything's still in front of us. We have a lot to play for. That game, we kept fighting, right? You make some key plays. Yeah, things could change, but we didn't. We came up short at the end of the day. It's tough getting up here and talking, as you know, Boogie, because I've been up here before and you can say, that play was crap. It was unexcusable. And you'll get, well, you're just making an excuse for it. And I've literally gotten that comment back from saying something negative and something positive. And like you said, you really just get up here and you try to explain things. There were reasons. There are reasons why every team loses every game. And we get up here and try to give them when we see them, right? So an excuse, I think it's a reason. It's a reason why it happened is all. But I'm not willing to put a nosedive on Tennessee when all your goals are in front of you. That's crazy. I'm not willing to do a nosedive until the nosedive takes place, and then I would call it a nosedive. And that's just calling a spade a spade.
You say this a lot. I say it a lot, and it's how, right? How does it play out? Tennessee goes 7-5. We got problems. We got problems that have to be addressed and fixed. We go 8-4. I need to know how, why, what happened. 9-3. Well, hell, that's what I predicted before the season. Why am I going to get my panties in a wad and throw a fit and kick my toys and scream when we're exactly who I thought we would be, right? So let's hear more from Cole Cuba.
I still think physically they're well past where any of us thought they were going to be, both on the defensive line and more specifically on the offensive line. And now with David Sanders coming in, maybe they're going to be even past that. I think running back has not been the issue that we thought it was going to be, with Dylan Sampson having to be replaced. Joey Aguilar's done a really nice job operating the offense. What to watch, though, is going to be wide receiver down the stretch. I think they have 3 wide receivers in the top 10 of the SEC in snaps right now, and they're not rotating a lot there, and they don't have a lot of extra bodies. That is a position that could completely just melt by the end of the season. But where I thought they were going to be and where they is, and this happens a little bit more of how they've done it also. Like you and I talked about, coming out of that Georgia game, that's as close as those two teams have been physically in, I don't know what, 15 years, 13 years. And
as close as these two teams have been physically in 13 years, 14 years, recruiting, Coach Jay, recruiting. We are starting to see parity in college football. Josh Heupel is starting to recruit at a higher level, still not where you want to be. You're still chasing that top 5 class. And that was something that Brian Staley also put in the tweet when he responded to me, which was such a big point when you're not only when you're trying to compare Alabama to Tennessee, obviously it makes sense there, but also just when you're looking at Tennessee as a whole. He's not just dealing with an NCAA investigation that went on for 3 years. Obviously, that's a huge problem. He's also trying to change the public perception of the University of Tennessee. We were the laughingstock. We were a dumpster fire. We were the bottom of the barrel. We were horrible for 15 years. And Josh Heupel is trying to come in and say, hey, everybody, I've been here. I went 7-5. Come to Tennessee. I showed you I could win 7 games. Come to Tennessee. Don't worry about that NCAA investigation. It's going to be fine. Following year, 11 games, 11 wins. Hendon Hooker should have been in New York as a Heisman finalist, but guess what? That's one season. It was a pipe dream. You got lucky. You got lucky and beat Alabama. Still got that NCAA investigation. You slip off and lose 9 games, and now all of a sudden, see, I'm not quite sold. Josh Heupel is trying to sell a program that was in a dumpster for 15 years, and that takes time. And if Brian Staley is telling me, I think he knows what he's talking about. I think he's close to it, that Josh Heupel is the man for the job, and we need to be patient, give him time, let him cook. That's where I'm at, man. That's where I'm at. 15 years, and now we're playing as physical as Georgia.
Yeah. Hey, we're so dang close, man. And that's, once again, not to keep beating this dead drum, but I think that's why it's eking everybody when they see a game that's not played up to those expectations, because they see that talent base there, because you got 5-star Mike Matthews running around, because you've got 3 wide receivers in the top 10 wide receivers. It's because all this talent has come to Rocky Top that we are changing our expectations. You know who's responsible for that? Josh Heupel, right? Just end of story completely. Before Jalen Hyatt and we kind of started proving it, we're not flipping Tristan Keys from LSU. No way. You think that's happening? Nah. Before Mike Matthews come in? No. The talent they're amassing too this year from an athletic standpoint is crazy in this recruiting class. You really start licking your chops, man. It's exciting time to be a Vol, and we should all be excited about it. We should be happy that these expectations have changed, even if you have a little bit of a slip up under wild circumstances. We'll see, though. Like I said, their goals are in front of them. Like you said, they're going to be favored in every game moving forward. Guys, we got a chance to do this. We got to go out there and do it. But we got a chance. We can do it.
Athleticism, linebacker play. Our linebackers in the class of 25. Jaden Perlotti, Harmon. Like,
they're going to be good ones too. You can
more athletic than what we're seeing now, right?
Yes.
More athletic, more speed.
Yep.
We saw the speed from Jaden Perlotti when he got in and recovered that fumble. More athleticism. The biggest question mark for me is safety play. We have to attack safeties in the portal. Shady, what are you doing? Anybody see Shady Hayward? Hey, Shady, you looking for a head coach?
You have to. It's got to be a top priority. You're going to have to shell out a little bit of money because I think we got one in Farouk, Boogie.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I think
He just needs to grow up. He needs to grow up, and
yeah,
he is growing up.
yeah. So I think we attack that position. If we could pick up two solid ones, even still, even with Farouk there, I'd be happy about it. Like maybe one guy on like a journey, on that final year journey, here to make the pros, and then one guy that's kind of young with a lot of upside that you can develop a little.
We've got a $5 super chat from Goober Smoo. Goober Smoo 1990. What a name. $5 super chat put later in the chat. Just a door fee. Shout out Goober Smoo. We appreciate the door fees and the super chats. We also appreciate if you guys smash the thumbs up below the video. Quick, free, easy helps the channel. Let's hear more from Cole Kubelik.
They didn't get pushed around in that game. They didn't get pushed around in the Alabama game. They didn't get bullied. I mean, there's a reason that Alabama started using extensions of the run game through the air, and that's because Bryson Easton and those guys were in the backfield early in the middle of that offensive line for Alabama. So I'll probably give you Tennessee as a team that I wasn't really sure of, probably leaned on the lower end of the middle of the pack, and now still has an opportunity to play their way into the college football playoff.
I think we had Georgia pretty much pegged as well. They're going to be a really good team.
I like that from Cole Kubelik mentioning Tennessee there as a team. I think it just puts perspective on it, man. If you're in the chat and you're mad, you're irate, you're angry, saying this team sucks, this team's awful, I think Cole Kubelik knows what he's talking about, and I think that puts a little perspective on it. Again, help us out. Smash the thumbs up. If you've not shared out the link, share it out. If you see us tweet out that we're going live, man, help us out. Hit the heart. Retweet it. If you're on Facebook, hit the thumbs up, share it out. We appreciate that support. You can also support us by grabbing some Talkin VAWLS merchandise. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We got the TM theme merchandise. We got logo merch, Nike merchandise. If you want that, we've also got parody shirts. We've got rivalry shirts, Buck Fama, FUGA. Now is the time, perfect time to buy a Kentucky's Daddy shirt. You can get that all at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can also support the channel by hitting the join button down below. Only $1 a month. That's it. Got $1? We need $1. If you hit the join button, we'll take that $1. We would appreciate it. Helps keep the lights on around here. Allows us to bring you content, Monday streams, Friday streams, all that type of stuff. If we get enough of them, we'll give away some free merchandise. You guys can also gift those memberships. Just a reminder about the Patreon. You want to play EA Sports College Football with me, Coach Jay, Dauber, the X Factor. We're all in there. Foul Ming's in there hanging out, playing EA Sports College Football. But also on the Patreon, you could join the game day chat. It is a chat room for the Kentucky game, for the Oklahoma game, every game moving forward. But it's also just another way you can support this channel, and we are grateful for your support because we do not survive without that support. Fuzzy did not get a membership, but he finally dropped $1. Fuzzy dropped $1. He had $1. He lied to us about that $1, and he joined the channel himself. He never got the gifted Talkin VAWLS membership. Let's talk a little gambling real quick. We don't condone gambling around here, but if we did, man, you should not listen to anything that comes out of this channel because the last couple of weeks have been brutal.
Last week. No?
They've been brutal. You went, what'd you do? You went 2-0-1. You had a push. You had a push. You had UCLA -3. That was a push. You had Georgia Tech +1.5. That was a dub. Utah State -4 was a dub. Foul Ming. In the previous week, you went 1-2. You and Foul both went 1-2.
Oh, the previous was terrible.
In week 7. Now, week 8, Foul Ming again went 1-2. You went 2-0-1. Foul Ming had Vandy -2.5. That was a win. Ole Miss +7.5. A loss. Auburn +1.5. A loss. Now, Foul Ming is nowhere to be seen. Foul Ming is missing in action. We don't know if Foul Ming is stranded on a deserted island or if the only Foul account got so backed up that he can't wake up. We don't know where Foul Ming's at. So I don't have his picks. So we may have to pause the gambling segment because knowing Foul Ming, he'll wake up and listen to this and he'll base his picks off of Coach Jay to get an advantage. So Coach Jay is at 12-9-1. Foul Ming is at 13-8. But Coach Jay is still going to give you his picks for this week, and then we'll come back next week. And hopefully Foul Ming resurfaces. I don't know. What are your picks?
Just for the record, those are not bad overall season records.
Like, you're winning. You're winning, right? You're up.
Dude. Yes, correct. Okay. Morning game. South Florida at Memphis. We were just talking about them, right? I'm riding with Golish, man. Give me South Florida -6. I just think they're just humming right now on all levels. That offense is scoring 50 plus a game. They're going to be good, right? So, give me the Vols.
Hold on, you keep going with South Florida. Is Alex Golesh your biggest fear if he becomes the head coach at Florida?
Yeah, I would not. I would rather have Kiffin, quite frankly.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
I would. Big time. Big time.
Mm.
100% I would.
See, I don't think Kiffin goes. I think Kiffin,
I don't
unless
either.
they just threw a ton of money.
I think the Notre Dame coach already turned him down. I think he turned him down. Like that was their first choice, and he
Mhm.
turned him down out of the gate. And
Interesting.
now they're pivoting towards Kiffin. So if they strike out on him, they're going to start looking to these other tiers, right? Your Fran Browns and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I can't remember who. Somebody tweeted out and said the Florida coaching search is now to that level of bring back Billy Napier because that's how far down the list they're going. I don't give a crap about the Gators, so I'm not following the coaching search that closely. I'll wait and see who they hire and be done with it. I'm here to talk Tennessee football, so I don't really know where they're at, but I saw that tweet and thought it was funny. All right, go ahead. What are the other picks you got?
Also, I've got Baylor and Cincinnati. I've got Cincy. Give me Cincy at -4. They're really tough at home. Baylor's a good team, but I think Cincy's a little more complete. I got them winning that game by about 9. So give me Cincy -4.
Mhm.
Also, Miami bounce back week playing a terrible Stanford team. Absolutely awful. Miami's going to trounce them by 45, 50 points. It's -30. It's a big number. Give me that one. And also, shout out Arkansas Vol. He wanted us to do something. I don't know if we're doing it or not. So if Val decides to do it, I'm doing it. He wanted us to try to win a underdog that was at least 7 points. Like try to pick the winner in it. Give me Mississippi State +7. Give me them to upset Texas. I'll take that. The misery continues for the Longhorns, and give me the Bulldogs at home.
You know, it just now hit me that because you said the misery for Texas continues. I went on Kaner's show, 2 years ago, and I said that Steve Sarkisian was overrated. And I looked like a real idiot last year. Maybe I knew what I was talking about. Maybe I knew what I was talking about.
Maybe
not. Maybe I just got lucky. Who knows? You know, the biggest miss I ever had in the history of sports was when LeBron James came out and went straight to high school. And I said he was going to be a complete flop. Yeah, I was like, he's a complete flop. He'll never do anything in the NBA. Yeah, didn't know what I was talking about. Reverse Gaming drops a $5 super chat. It's kind of a joke, but who do we hire to teach our boys how to tackle? Tackling has been an issue for a few years now. It has been. And it's that, I mean, that has to start with coaching, right? It has to start with coaching. But, however, I don't know what the answer is. Look, I'm not a coach. I'm
available.
Coach, yeah, you are. So what? I don't understand.
I'm available.
There's no way that these coaches are sitting in the film room and a player comes in and lowers their shoulder, turns sideways, and shoulder bumps somebody, and they go, great technique.
I wish. This isn't late night talking balls on Tuesday, so I can't tell you how I would be reacting during that film. But let's put it this way: that my hair would be on fire in that film room, like absolutely.
But what's the answer, Coach? Because we know that is not the way they are being taught to tackle.
But it's not being done. It in the back end specifically, I won't say it for the D-line, but at least it feels like that it's not religion, and it needs to be. It needs to be
a focal point.
You do it every single day. You work not only the physicality of it, but the basics of it as well. You need to sprinkle it in at the beginning, middle, and end of each practice. It has to be a focal point. You have to be constantly working on that craft. And it's easy during the season to get lost in that, but it has to be part of your day. It's got to be like muscle memory. You know what I mean? Like when you eat spaghetti, you don't think grab fork, put fork in sketty, twist sketty, put fork up to mouth, eat. You just do it, man, because it's muscle memory. It's got to be like that. It's got to be like eating sketty.
It's like reps. There's I don't know if it's I don't know if it was a jiu-jitsu practitioner that said this. Everybody's got a number. Everybody has a number. So if I'm doing a basic arm bar and I'm putting my foot on the hip and I'm swiveling and I'm breaking the legs
Mm-hmm.
coming over and I raise the hips. You got to do that X number of times, and everybody's numbers differently until
Yep.
it becomes okay. Well, now it's just natural. So boom, you hit it. Boom, you hit it. Like the way I do an armbar versus the way a black belt does an armbar, we can do the same exact technique, but his fundamentals are so much better because everybody has a number. And when you're drilling every single day versus I'm a hobbyist, I come in, maybe once or twice a week, I take a class and then I go home versus a dude that eats, sleeps, and breathes it. And that's I agree with what you're saying. They got to be doing it every single day, and we see them out there hitting those stupid donuts. What are your thoughts on the donuts? Does that truly teach tackling fundamentals? Because the last time I checked, if I'm trying to tackle Fluff Bothwell, he's not a circle, coach. He's a man, and he's about 220 pounds. It's different.
It can be for the soft form of it, but you need to rep that at every speed, slow, medium, and fast, right? Multiple times, and not only work it with the donut, but a heavy bag as well, with players as well. It needs to be religion, as I said, and you need to work it at every single pace. So it's slow in your mind, medium in your mind, fast in your mind, and I would just any one of my players will tell you, like almost like the program carrying the football around. I like my players just walk around and think knees to nuts, ass down, head up, wrap
Mental
up,
reps, Butch.
pat on the ball.
Mental
Just say
reps,
it.
Butch.
Just say it. I tell them to just say it. I'll point at my linebackers, and they know that they have to say that slogan. Like that's just immediately. I'll just point. Hey, Thompson. Hey, Pops. Whoever, right? Like you got to have those mental reps on top of it. So when I go, I'm not going to try to launch and make some highlight thing. These are big league ball players. They're just going to bounce off, man. You need to form up and tackle right. Like, come on.
We need to make it a focal point. I agree, and it's the same as catching the football. More reps. Just put in more reps on the jugs machine. Oh, you're doing 5,000 a week? Do 10,000. That's not good enough. Do 20,000. I don't care. Fix it. These are fixable mistakes. That's the maddening part. All right, let's jump into Tennessee and Kentucky. Coach Shea is going to make his pick. I already made my pick on Wednesday night. I've got Tennessee 38-20. They give up just enough points to keep everybody still pissed off and angry and thinking that this team sucks. The ESPN FPI has Tennessee at 75%. Vegas was at 8.5, and now I think it's the line is starting to fall down a little bit here. Again, we sell a shirt that says we're Kentucky's daddy because we are. We've owned them in the series 84, 26, and 9 from 85 to 2010. We never lost this game. 26 straight wins. Went on to win 31 out of 32. So what's Josh Heupel done? Josh Heupel's gone 4-0 against Kentucky. But strange things happen, Coach, when we go to Lexington. Strange things always find a way to sneak into this game. It is a road game. It is by definition a trap game. It's why I had it circled on the calendar in the preseason. Don't let Kentucky beat you twice. If you got to go on the road and it's an emotional game against Alabama, and I think that Alabama game was an emotional game. It was a dogfight. Tennessee was in it. Mental mistakes cost you the game. That was an emotional game. You got Oklahoma coming up next week. Coach Heupel, the story there. We know this team wants to win that game. This is sandwiched right in between, and it's on the road, back-to-back road games. Definition of a trap game. Coach Jay, give us your keys and your score prediction.
Key number one is just focus and intention, right? You don't want a team that's hung over. You don't want a team that's down. You got to come out and play with your hair on fire, but play within yourself, right? Yeah, good score there, Pig. DN, I like that. I expect a big bounce back game out of Joey. I think Joey. I know Joey is not happy with the way that Bama game went, and I expect him to bounce back and play well. I expect this offense to collect themselves and play well. I think you'll see a big game out of the running backs, and we'll dictate some things on the ground a little bit. As mentioned before, I need to see those sacks and turnovers and aggressive defense. I do not want to see us showing. Sorry about that. I'm in the
Yellow
coach's office today, right? Yeah. So we got to keep that intention up on defense. I don't want to see us, when we got Kentucky's back to the wall, showing zero, showing an aggressive front, and dropping everyone back 50 yards, right? I don't want to see us giving 12 yards of space when it's 3rd and 20, right? Or 15 yards of space. I want to see us playing a good, straight up aggressive style of football. And I expect them to play that well.
I had to.
Oh, good.
I had to.
Golly, that's hilarious. Oh man, that's funny.
Derailed you. I derailed you.
Yeah, derailed. But that would have been awesome if that's what it was, and I just happened to be here. But I do. I think I got 40-21, Boogie. So I'm right in that same range. I know Kentucky's been feisty and played everyone tight and not got it done, but I also think Heupel takes care of business in games like this where it's teams that he should do it against. And I expect this offense to come out sharp, and I think the defense, they'll trust themselves a little more. Tim Banks will have a little more trust in his DBs against this offense. And because he does, he'll play a little more aggressive of a brand of football.
Daniel Bergner in the chat's been a member for 35 months. We appreciate your support. Daniel says Tennessee 42, Kentucky 21. Nick Roush goes on his epic wine and cheese run. That's my favorite part about Kentucky week. Luke Thompson for 2 says hold them to 0 points. Make a statement. Dude, I would love to see this defense come out and make a statement. I will believe that when I see it. I do think Tennessee handles business on the road. But I think this defense is going to give up some plays, but we'll see what happens. I think Tennessee wins. I think we continue to put on more steam, and hopefully we can go take care of business the rest of the way. But if not, guess what? We'll still be right here talking about it, just like we will all weekend. Saturday, tomorrow, an hour before kickoff, the tailgate show. Immediately following the game, Talkin VAWLS live post-game show. Sunday morning, day after video, bright and early. And I say early whenever I roll out of bed after about a 2 a.m. post-game wrap-up. But then also Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Monday morning, Eric Kane will be in the house. We'll get an update on the coaching search for the Tennessee baseball coach, and then we'll talk a little Tennessee and Kentucky as well. We appreciate you guys. I don't see you guys complaining. I don't see you guys getting annoyed. But when I plug the show and promote the show and that we need the memberships and the Patreon and the merchandise and the way that you can support the channel, it's just because this is fan-funded. We don't exist without you guys. We're not sitting here on a salary and it's like, okay, I can check in and check out. We don't exist without you, and that's why I am grateful for every single person in the chat. Whether we agree, we disagree, whether you hit the thumbs up, whether you drop super chats, no matter what the case may be. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I am grateful for you guys. We will continue doing what we do, and I just wanted to say that because I am appreciative, and I'm appreciative of the guys that come on this channel, like Coach. I've known Dauber forever. I put out a tweet the other day, man. It had been a year exactly since Coach and Miss J came out, spent the night with us, hung out, got to see East Tennessee. Man, I didn't have that on my bingo card when we started this thing. Foul Ming, I like to bust his balls, and we always laugh because I think you guys enjoy the banter between us. That dude's a guy that I consider a real-life friend. He came out to the Talkin VAWLS meet and greet like 3 years ago. I've put a face with the name a long time ago. And it took years of saying, dude, you should come on the show. You're just like us. You're one of us. You can talk ball. Man, come on the show, come on the show, come on the show. And finally, he broke down and did it. X Factor being a part of it. Everybody that rolls through this channel, even Dustin. Dustin only shows up on post games, but I love talking ball with Dustin. It is what it is. I am grateful. I am thankful. For Coach Jay, my name's Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.